Kitty. Here's Kitty.
Oh, hiya! How are we doing, gang? It's me. I'm back. It's Kitty. Hiya. Kitty Cassis, that's what they call me. Cassis, like the dark, sweet, viscous, slightly sickly liqueur. Only tolerable in very small doses. Hiya! How are we doing, gang? Are we all right? I hope that this episode this week finds you well. I mean, I say well, that's probably a bit optimistic, isn't it? Coping, just surviving. That's the baseline of what we can expect, isn't it? I say it every week. Welcome back to Calling Kitty. This is an audio podcast with a visual element. I suggest you seek out the visual element this week because I am looking gorgeous, just very subtle this week, you know, just natural vibes. That's what I'm going for this week. Almost like I've just fell out of bed. Do you know what I mean? That's the vibe that I'm going for. Glamour on little budget. That's what I'm going for today. So I hope you're all right wherever you are. Calling Kitty. Well, what is it? It's a podcast. And it's for the woman who is a connoisseur of fragrance. She wears Cacharel's Lulu on each wrist, Yves Saint Laurent's Jazz on the back of her knees, and a quick spritz of Calvin Klein's Obsession on the labia majora. It's all about layering. Okay. That's it for me. So if that is you out there, I mean, I've said woman, gender is a concept, as we all know. So it could be anybody out there who is loving fragrance. I love fragrance. I love it when I want you to be able to smell me before you can see me. Do you know what I mean, treasure? That's what I'm going for. You know, I might be conjuring up a lot of the relatives in your life when you were growing up, and actually to a very young nostril, an overbearing aroma can hardwire some triggering thoughts, can't it? But for me, you know, like I'm giving off the scent of busybody. That's my vibe. And I am actually currently working on my own signature fragrance, a perfume, or parfum, as the French call it. So I've got base notes. What I'm doing all of this in our Dave's shed at the bottom of the garden. You know, I've got my Botox brewing. I've got that batch brewing over there. Now, if you've never listened to Calling Kitty before, it's not like you have to follow a story arc. It's not like you need to go back and listen to the rest of the episodes. Really, you can just drop in here and really get a vibe of what's going on straight away. Do you know what I mean? You don't really need York notes to be able to kind of like understand the layers or anything like that. But obviously, I am a beautician by trade. That's what I do. But I'm also an astrologist and a clairvoyant. And I am actually now making my own tinctures and my own products and my own potions. A lot of you will have been to hireitsmekitty.com. And if you're looking on the visuals now, you can see I've got my little roll-up banner here. And I want to ask this quick question. How many people have been battling with a roller banner this week or last week? I've got flesh wounds that I'm thinking of actually taking the whole concept to a small claims court. I've got my finger trapped in it. It's been a bloody nightmare. But anyway, it was worth it. Hireitsmekitty.com. That's where you can get all of my lotions and my potions and my tips and my tricks. But I'm working on my own fragrance now, because I think that's the next stage, isn't it? With merch, you've got to get the word out there and get your vibe out there. Get your stink out there, if you will. So I'm currently working on that. So what are we talking now? We're talking base notes, okay? I've extracted oils from natural substances. I've been out to the local rec, the common park out there where everyone walks their dogs. I've got bark off the trees, turf, and then I've actually got soil from the central reservation of some of our most beloved dual carriageways in this country. And then I went to Texaco and got some of their unleaded. All right. Now, if you don't think that doesn't provide a brilliant base note, you've got that heady, grimy, earthy tones. Okay. Now, for your heart notes, that's your middle. Dettol, obviously, lavender. I love that brand. And then I've got a few drops of patchouli and some battery acid. Okay, now if you don't think that is, now we're building up. Now we're building up a template. Okay, we're building up a personality for this fragrance, and it's all about balancing. It's balancing off. Top notes. Okay, what I've done is I've got the sweat out of our Dave's favourite polo shirt. He's been wearing it for 3 days, and that's when it just all sits in nice and perfectly. Bilge water, essential ingredient, and the bottom of the food caddy when you've left it in the sun for 3.5 weeks. Gorgeous. Now we're blending it all together. All right, so it's all go here at Kitty HQ, and I've got to come up now with some packaging. I've got to come up with the brand colours, the logo. I'm still brainstorming names at the moment. I'm liking Sabotage. What do you think about that? Or the other one I'm looking at is Delusion by Kitty Cassis. And obviously I would be in the advertising campaign. The other one, which is a front runner, a favourite at the moment, Eau de Gunt. Yeah? Eau de Gunt by Kitty Cassis. I can see it now, and I know I've got a lot of graphic designers who tune into Calling Kitty. Saatchi and Saatchi, they subscribed last week. I did see that, so they're on board. So we'd have, we would have a campaign, if you like, maybe a theme tune, maybe a song, and the packaging, and then the advertising campaign, and that's what we do. So this is what Calling Kitty is. It's really just a chance for us to brainstorm, isn't it? And just to throw our ideas into the cauldron and see what bubbles up. That's what I like to do. Wherever you are, whatever you're up to, I hope this episode finds you well, treasures out there. I always do allude to what a shit show it is. It's March 2024, and if you're listening to this in some dystopian future and you've opened a chili bottle, maybe, with a few, like a time capsule type thing, and I've survived somehow, this audio presence or this video has somehow survived. It is indeed feeling like a dystopian future right now, but if I can just provide even a few minutes of let up from that so that you can escape into flights of fancy, then welcome into my wonderful world here at Calling Kitty. I hope that you're well, and wherever you're listening to this, maybe you're listening in a vehicle, maybe you're listening in your AirPods, maybe you've just got it on loudspeaker on a bus. Those people really bloody annoy me, so stop right now. Yep, stop, press pause right now. I mean it. Even if it affects my figures, I mean it, because that is one of the most annoying bloody things. But maybe you are in a waiting room. Maybe you're at the vet's or the doctor's. You're feeling a bit anxious. Have you got butterflies? Yeah. I love this bit now because I think there will be somebody sat in a doctor's waiting room or in a vet's waiting room right now. Maybe you're waiting to see a professional person about a complaint that you've got, an intimate complaint, and you'd be thinking, how the hell does she know that? Well, I'm everywhere, all the time, everywhere. Maybe you're on your way to see a sex worker for the first time and you're getting a bit nervous about that. Take some deep breaths, treasure. I can tell you, we see all sorts every day. All right. As you know, I am a practitioner, professional, and there's nothing that we've never seen before. To us, it's just another client through the door. So don't be put off and just be yourself. That's what I'm saying. Whether it's your guinea pig getting treated for that weird rash or your slightly abnormally shaped appendage, whatever it is, just be confident in yourself, treasures. All right. And that's, don't say that Calling Kitty doesn't do anything for you. I'm giving you a boost here. It's not, yes, okay, it might not be the shape that everyone else is, and maybe You've been told that a few times, but as a practitioner, as a professional, we're used to dealing with all sorts. We're just human. After all, treasures, we're just human. So what have I been up to this week? Well, we've had a lot of drama on the cul-de-sac this week, gang. Oh my God. Some of you may know I live in a generic cul-de-sac in a northern town that won't be named. I can't risk it. It started last Thursday afternoon when 3 rough blokes turned up in a white van, blaring "In the Army Now" by Status Quo. Well, there's a red flag straight away, isn't it? And I knew, or I could smell something was going to go on. I could smell it. They drove up and approached our lovely Yvonne's place at number 5. Now, Yvonne has type 1 diabetes. She's recently lost her husband and her left foot. So you know that she's not in a great place right now. And they get out of the vehicle en masse and they just start drilling up a patio. Now, she had crazy paving put in about 2 years ago. And that was a drama in itself. But as you can imagine, the curtains started twitching and the jaws started flapping. All right. It was crazy. Mandy from number 22 comes out in her slippers and a dressing gown with a face mask on, smoking a Dunhill, and asks what the hell is going on. Yvonne hobbles out. She's having kittens. Now, as you know, a lot of you know, I used to do a lot of work with the United Nations. Okay, I smoothed over a lot of the conflicts, you know, international conflicts, national conflicts. Now I'm on local conflicts and regional conflicts. I came out, smoothed things over. It turns out they got the wrong address. Okay, now this is another little nugget of wisdom. It's a learning point, isn't it? It's a learning point. Always check your postcodes. All right, they should have been in Bolton, not in Charlie. And that's where we had the problem with them. So, I made them a nice cup of tea. I actually did a few tarot readings for some of them, and we managed to get it all together. But you've got to remember, all right, you've got to remember that everyone's just trying their best at this point, treasures. All right, now Yvonne is in there. I'm actually making her a prosthetic ankle and foot. This is cutting edge technology. I'll tell you more about that next time. I've got some brilliant new materials that I'm working with for that. And if you have got any suggestions of, or maybe any things that have gone wrong in your life or on your cul-de-sac or in your tower block, let me know. For a small fee, I can come and sort stuff out, but we'd love to hear all about it. Now, one thing, I cannot quite believe that I'm saying this, but we have had another sponsor. And my producer, Ellie, and I have been working very hard. A lot of people do these podcasts for many, many, many years to get sponsors. You know, a lot of people do a lot of things that are quite degrading to get sponsors. One of my sponsors, who's been in the news quite a lot this week, he did donate a lot of money to this podcast. I cut it. I gave him all the money back when I realised what had happened this week. I'm not touching dirty money. I'm not touching bigoted money. But what I will do is bring to you some messages from sponsors that I think fit our demographic here at Calling Kitty. And hopefully that's enough notice to get Ellie to play it. We'll be back after this message from our sponsors.
Calling Kitty is brought to you this week by a brand new exciting friendship app, Linda. Are you a woman of a certain age and a comfortable wealth bracket? Now try the only app that connects privileged middle-aged women with other like-minded empty nesters seeking companionship and the potential for a quick snog on a remote dog walk. Linda. Do you love wild water swimming? Have you recently rekindled a passion for arts and crafts? Are you a member of your local rock choir franchise? Have you tried Tinder? Had a go on Grindr? Well, lean in to Linda. Linda is available on your app store and requires a John Lewis membership. Linda Limited does not accept any responsibility for injury, loss of life or financial ruin. Please consult your doctor before using the Linda app.
Welcome back to Calling Kitty. Now, I would just say to you, and I was going to say this to you last week, it is worth tuning into the YouTube link, which is in the show notes of this, because I love to have a little chuckle during the advert breaks. I do. And I think I've said it before, and I've said it again. There is more explicit content if you go for the membership packages that we've got. But yeah, that was great. So yeah, check out the Linda app. Obviously, I worked for the BBC for many, many years. I wasn't used to dealing with advertisers, but now I'm on commercial. I can highly recommend the Linda app, and I might be bringing you some tales, bits of gossips and snippets from little friendship dates that I've had recently as well. Now, as I've always said to you, you can get in touch with Calling Kitty. How do you do it, Kitty? Good question. Great question, let me tell you. Well, you can DM me. I'm on all of the platforms at hireit'smekitty.com. You can go to my website. There's a little click through. I think it actually says get in touch. I mean, how much more basic can I make it than that? You could send me a fax. You can send me a pigeon carrier. You can send me a memo, whatever you want to do. And it's so easy to get in touch with me. And actually, that's what somebody has done this week. And I would love to talk to them. So should we get them on the line? Let's see what's going on. Shall we? Let's get in touch. Here we go. We've got somebody on the line now. Oh, hello. It's Calling Kitty.
Oh, hello, Kitty. Oh, glad to get through to you.
Well, it's been quite a busy line this week, hasn't it? It's been a bit of a busy line. You sound...
I know, I've been calling every day. Been calling you every day, desperately trying to get through, and I've been put on hold multiple times, but I thought I'll persevere. I will persevere to get in touch. And I'm here, I can't believe it. It's brilliant.
You are dedicated, and I love that about you. What's your name, Treasure? Where you from? What you on?
So my name's James Braille, with a Y. I'm based in the district of Bexley, Forest King of Country, South London.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. It's great, lovely part of the country. Hoping to expect a real tourist boom over the next sort of couple of years, I reckon. Quite possible. We've got a fantastic sort of high street, lovely fountain. You can throw coppers in. We've got
you can make a wish,
shops,
couldn't you? You can make a wish.
Well, it depends. It depends how morbid your mind is. Some people around here, I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. But it's ornamental, and that gets me by anyway. So, yeah. Well, I wish to get on your show, and here I am, and wishes do come true.
This is what I mean, James. I mean, it's destiny, isn't it? You've obviously put a coin in that fountain, you've made a wish, and look what karma has delivered us here now.
It's poetic. It's poetic. It's the kind of thing that a great poet would write down and read out in front of an audience above a pub, and everyone would probably applaud, stand up and give it an applause. It's that poetic of that. Yeah, I'm just proud to be part of that moment.
Oh, and actually, I can feel now there's chemistry here, and there's an energy, and I love that. I love that about you. What's going on in your world, James Treasure?
Look, Kitty, I know I've started off real positive sounding. I got a real problem, all right? Now, you see, I'm a bachelor. Hard to believe, but I am. I recently met the love of my life online. She's gorgeous, all right? Kath's her name. I love her to bits. Now, she lives the other side of the country. We have spoken at length. Everything is going brilliantly. She is due to come down to stay in my abode this coming weekend.
In Bexley?
All good so far. In lovely Bexley, yeah. Everything's going well so far. However, last night, my dog, I don't know what it's eating something odd, alright? And basically, I can't get it out of my bedroom. I can't get my dog to leave my bedroom. It's coughing. It's just, I don't know what to do, and it's starting to stink the place up a little bit. So
has it got the squits, James?
I need to act quick. Well, at the moment, looking fine. I have examined from all angles. You know,
I can imagine.
Got to be cautious.
Yeah.
Got to be a good owner. You've got to be a good owner of your pets. And Lambert, my dog, he's 18 years old. So he's ticking along. He's ticking along real well. I've looked after him super well his whole life. I've had an exam in. It's due. I'm thinking it's due. I think something bad's coming because he's swelling. He's swelling everywhere.
Right.
And I can't get him out. I've got scoliosis. I can't move this big dog. He's a big dog.
What
He's
breed
big dog.
are we
He's up on
talking,
his
James?
hind legs. Oh, he's some kind of cross. I got him from a lad down the road. He's the guy who comes around and sort of collects your scrap. I got him from him many moons ago. I think it's some kind of sort of a Rottweiler Labrador crossed
XL
with
bully.
Yeah. One of those bullies, one of those bully XLs. He's a big dog, got a big skull, as sweet as they come. But up on his hind legs, I tell you, this thing is about, he's sort of 6'3". He's a big,
Yeah, I was going to
heavy
say,
dog.
are you on at your eye to eye level with him when he's on his hind legs?
I'm a small man.
Right.
I'm only 5'2". So this dog towers above me, towers above any guest I get round here, I have to say. So he's a big dog. I didn't tell Kath about the dog, which I now realise is a rookie error when you're trying to court.
Yeah.
I've got to hide him somehow, but I can't get him out of my bedroom. I just need some interior design advice from you, Kitty. I just need some advice.
I'm thinking, could he add to the feng shui of the room in any way? Is there any way we could put some kind of lampshade on that skull and sedate him? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm going to get all of the RSPCA people phoning me at this point. But one thing I will say, Ted, one of my neighbours, he's got 2 Alsatians, Torval and Dean, and he actually uses his dogs. He gets the anal glands and he massages them, and that is an aphrodisiac, James. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but I'm thinking this might not be a problem. Actually, this could be a solution. Now, is Kath a dog person or not? Because that's quite crucial.
From my understanding, Kath is very much not a dog person. I would go as far as to say that she actively really hates dogs. She hates pets, full stop.
Right.
Which has proven difficult because not only do I have a dog, I do also have a large lizard in a glass cabinet. Also heavy, and with my scoliosis, I'm not going to be able to lift that out either. So I was building up to the lizard. There's a few animals in this room that I was planning to just cover up with a couple of pillowcases,
blankets.
But the dog is a problem. Yeah, the dog is a problem. I've looked at the gland. That was my first point of call. I check that on the regular anyway. That's sort of here's your breakfast. How's your gland? It's sort of the regular process for me. The gland looks angry. Has the shade of maybe sort of a
Nigel Farage, like a Nigel Farage shade.
Yeah,
not quite that red.
Sort of that. Well, it's sort of that veiny, purpley, sort of slightly gouty, almost turning into a sort of damaged postbox kind of shade. Problematic. I would say I'm a kind owner. I'm a good owner, and I'm aware my dog is old, so I do have to make these inspections. That shade is not a shade you should be seeing on any gland or on any creature. I would say. I think the dog's swelling is gonna become. I think it's gonna dominate the room, even with this feng shui suggestion. I'm worried.
You're concerned. Now, is there any way? I don't know what. Obviously, you've gone back and forth. Have you met on the apps? Is that where you met, Kath, on the app?
Yep, met on the apps. We met on the old the old Bumble. Met on the Bumble, yeah. So she gave me the old thumbs up. So I thought that's a good start. That's a good start. She just paid no attention. The fact that I did have Lambert, my dog, in my profile picture with me. She just ignored that.
Oh, so she is somebody who is looking at the red flags directly and actually somehow managing to explain them away. Now, for me, that would be a red flag for you, James, because I think that we need to find you somebody with compatibility who would come round there, and rather than you having to actually disguise the fact that you've got a menagerie by the sound of it. I mean, I can see an iguana on your left shoulder. I think maybe you need to be having somebody who's a bit more like-minded, Treasure.
Look, she sees those red flags as accordance to her, as she charges for them like a bull, straight towards them like a bull, which is truthful. She does have the kind of build and the kind of character of a charging bull. But I like to be a matador, you know what I mean, Kitty? She's such a fiery sort. She's more kind of sparky than the lot around this Bexley way. So I hear what you're saying, but she's already booked her ticket, and I don't want to enrage the woman. It's doomed. It's doomed if that happens. Her turning up, got me a dress. What's she gonna do to me poor iguana? Let alone Lambert.
Yeah, listen, have you got any neighbours or have you got any friends nearby that could maybe take the... Because what we want to do at this point, James, is we get Kath in there, get all the animals out. This is the optimum solution. You two work out if there's any chemistry and if there's any longevity in this. Yes, you might tame that bull, but then would you be looking for something else, Treasure? I'm just getting a bit of a vibe off you that actually... It's always the ones that you want to settle down with you that don't, and it's the ones that are off, flying. You want to somehow capture them down, don't you? And actually, we need to turn this on its head. But if Kath is the one, if there's any, have you got a local laundrette where Lambert could hang out for the day?
The thing is, my neighbours are frail. I don't have many friends. I'm just unsure I'd even get this out of the house, to be honest. I would happily put him in the laundrette, give him a clean. I just don't think it's going to happen in the time frame.
Right.
I mean, I could maybe put a costume on him. Dress him up, possibly. Just say it's my brother sleeping.
Yeah. Could he be your roommate? Could Lambert be your roommate for that? Have you got a bowler hat?
I do. I do have a bowler hat, and I've actually got quite an assortment of very fun sort of New Year's Eve sort of costume, actually quite sparkly bowler hat. I've also got a lovely sort of tuxedo, sort of fun sparkly one that you might pop out for your work do at Christmas.
Like a cummerbund. Have you got a cummerbund and a cravat? Yeah. A cummerbund and a cravat, maybe something like that.
I might have a cravat knocking about. A cummerbund I don't, but I could just use one of my dark tea towels. All black. Very smart, very sleek. Tuck it under the dog. Beautiful. No one would know any difference. Just looks like a portly gentleman slightly writhing around on the floor. I could say it's my roommate. That's a brilliant idea.
I think this has
know
got
about
legs.
A roommate, but I don't think that would startle her. Yeah,
this has got legs,
Lambert,
James.
It's one of his legs. Yeah, one of his legs has come off. Actually, I did forget to.
Have you looked into maybe getting a wheel replacement for that?
I could do. Yeah. Possibly a skateboard wheel. That was maybe a bit too small.
Bit
they
small.
are quite good for load bearing, but load bearing is good. If not, if I got to say, if Kath sees it and is confused at the fact it has one less leg than is expected, maybe I could just do an illustration of a leg that could possibly work as well, or maybe stuff some tights, one of hers, because I don't own any tights. I'm in a bind again. Yeah. Oh God, this is why we need someone like you, Kitty. You're just coming up with the solutions for me. It's fantastic.
Now, James, what I don't want you to do, Treasure, I don't want you to get overwhelmed in problems. Let's take each bite size, each thing at a time. What we've done is we've managed to get this visit that you are this visit that you are expecting, hopefully an erotic visit that turns into something that is physical in nature but spiritually nourishing, and we want Lambert comfortable but not recognisable as a canine, and I think we've got that, haven't we? I desperately want to know how this goes. Is this weekend that this is happening?
This weekend is going to be the consummation of our relationship, yes.
I love that. What I sometimes say to myself is, this time next week, this will all be done. this particular problem. I mean, sometimes I think this is getting a bit dark now, but sometimes I think maybe this time next week we'll all be obliterated, and then all of the problems will go away, won't they? But don't get too deep, Kitty. Let's reel back from that. This time, this time next week, we will know either way. We'll know what's going on with you and Kath. Who knows? It may be that she gets on really well with your roommate / brother / butler, however we're going to say that Lambert it is, and actually could become part of the family. But will you do us a favour and will you keep us updated here at Calling Kitty?
I absolutely will. I've got to say, I just think that this idea, it's a roommate in a disguise. I just think it's going to pass, and I can just use a sort of an assortment of other kind of bits of linen to hide my other animals that I have in my bedroom. I just hope that my new samurai sword collection I have on the wall draws her attention. She loves Japanese culture. I bought it especially to show off to her. Hopefully that would take her eye away from the breathing, the sort of heaving, and the kind of gland sort of expanding that's happening by her feet.
And also, James, what you've got to remember, and I said this at the beginning, what I want all of my listeners and readers to do is really bloody rate themselves. And I want to know, I want to say to you that being in a room with you, you're charismatic, you're caring, you're considerate, and I think that, especially for this woman who seems to see red flags and then charge towards them, I think that do not underestimate your prowess, James, all right?
Well, thank you, I appreciate that. It is important for one to back themselves. I do agree with you. I've got to just take a step and be more confident and not think myself like a smashed up old brick wall anymore. I'm a solid 6 in every single possible way, except maybe
Absolutely.
my hygiene. That can do with a little bit more work.
Yeah, well, my fragrance is going to be on that production line any moment now, and that is a unisex fragrance, and that's something that I can send over to you, James. If anybody who is listening to this now has got any other suggestions, we would love to maybe throw that out to the public, because there might be somebody else in this same situation in the future. We might not be able to turn it around in time for this particular thing, but what we always want to do is make sure that other people who are in this scenario aren't getting too bloody stressed out, you know? I mean, I don't know how much Valium you've had this morning to be able to kind of deal with even just getting through the day, because this has been worrying the tits off you, hasn't it, Treasure? But now we've got a solution, and we've got a practical solution, and now all of a sudden you take a nice big deep breath, and things don't seem quite so troublesome anymore.
No, it's true. And I know, as I said, I don't have the biggest social circle, but I'm aware that this is quite a common problem. So I just throwing it out there to the masses, and I'm sure encountered by so many, somebody can maybe even give me some even more further advice.
Absolutely, there'll be a Facebook group dedicated to it.
So helpful.
There'll be a Facebook group dedicated
amazing.
to it, Treasure. Yeah. Thank you
Oh,
so much, James. I'll see you soon, Treasure. Take care. Ta-ra!
Love. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Treasure. Now look at that. That's how easy it is to call Kitty with any problem, dilemma, concern, query, confusion, chaos. Get in touch with me, and here at Calling Kitty, we'll just thrash it out. Sometimes it's nice to talk, isn't it? That's what I always think. Now, I hope that this little segment of wonderment has got you to your bus journey today, wherever you're going, or maybe you're stacking shelves in a well-known supermarket and you're having a little chuckle under your AirPod there. And if I've done that for you today, if we've done that for you, then our job here is done. Listen, from the bottom of my colonic to the tips of my acrylics, I've been Kitty Cassis, and this has been Calling Kitty. Ta-ra!
Like, follow, subscribe, sign your life savings over to Calling Kitty. Available on all the podcast platforms.